Oh, do you have your hydration?
I do.
Mm. Well, let me give me some. Hold on.
Pretty new cook.
Oh no, I got it. Okay. I love mine. It doesn't look like sunshine.
It
This
does.
looks like a sunset.
Can you see mine?
Yours is blue. You got your thing on. I can't see it.
Let me turn it off. It's just you and me. Video settings.
And what color is my shirt? I think it's orange.
Hang on a second. I'm good. I ain't that good.
What does that mean?
I can do some multitasking. It's kind of like a red orange.
It's a red orange. Okay. Because my friend he said it was red. I was like, I think this is more orange than red. Ooh.
It's a double wall insulated cup, so it can have hot or cold, but it's only ever going to have water in it. Ever.
That's
It's my pretty water cup. This is why I haven't been drinking water. I have to have a cup that fits my hand because I have little hands.
me too. This is perfect.
And I don't want something that's going to be cold on my hands. So with the double insulated, and it's not going to sweat all over my table and all the things. So it's perfect.
This is perfect, Tom. It's little. This is really small. But my little bit of hand. This is really small. And it's so pretty. It just makes me happy. It makes me happy.
Sunshine.
Okay. So tell me about your ideas. Now, let me tell you this. First of all, a lot of visionary women like us, we just spend a lot of time with ideas. So I'm going to listen to your ideas, but we have to decide what we're going to take action on because we can ideate all day, but I'm here to listen. But
that's what it is. It's actually doing video clips of because there's a couple of things that I had epiphanies on with various conversations that I've had. And it was just random, weird conversations. Like this weekend, I went and met a couple of people from TikTok. And the fella what?
you meet people from TikTok.
Yeah, they're local.
How do you meet people locally from TikTok?
They're in Charlotte. So we met online.
Oh,
So I follow this DJ. He's online. And this other gal, she moved from Florida to Charlotte. And we have these chats that go on in the evening while I'm listening to music.
oh okay.
So met him and this other gal, and he was asking me if I was going to get my certification. I looked at him and I was just like, certification for what?
Yeah,
That's exactly how I reacted. And he's like, well, you're PMP because, through the conversations, we were talking about my ITs, blah, 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 blah. I said, for what? I said, so I can cat herd people all day? I said, no, thank you. And so it gave me this idea of a lot of times the next logical step isn't our step.
true.
And so I want to do a video clip on that to lead into my program. So start doing these video clips of just because this is what society's saying your next logical step is. What does your soul say? What is your soul saying?
But let me ask you this. that came from him assuming that you're going to take the corporate route, which is naturally get your PMP certification. This is my thing. You haven't sold this yet, right?
Right.
The best content and things to put out revolves around the exact things that people say in reference to you making a sales offer. So that's great content per se, but it didn't come from a space of someone saying yes or no to working with you. So I'm not sure if that would lead to someone saying they wanted to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what would be the thought process? So, and this is just how I think. What would be the thought process that a person who wants to work with you has that would that context would make them say, "Oh my gosh, I need to call her today."
Girl, I have no idea.
Ah,
Sales is not my freaking thing. And that's what I keep saying. It is not my thing.
Stop saying that.
Mark,
You got to stop saying that because it's not true. You
how do you
sell every
figure?
day. You sell every freaking day. Because how many times have you sold Sabrina's program? How many times have you sold me? How many times have you sold Deborah or whoever she is in Seattle that won't even answer the phone because she's dealing with her mama? How many times have you sold Delana? How many times have you sold other people? Sales is your thing. You're a natural salesperson. You know why? Because you're a natural people person. So stop professing that which is not the truth. The truth is not that you are not good at sales, you're great at sales. Now you just need to turn that energy onto you. So realistically, the truth, I need you to change your language first because the energy of money follows what we say. And did you see what she sent us over tonight?
I did.
Okay, well, it's this. You know, and I had to check
I
myself.
can't even print it because our people downstairs, the printer. I'm like, Debrina, I need you to send me these out like a week beforehand.
I said the same thing. I just happen to be working in the office where I can print, but most people don't. They need time. Um, and it's not new info, but anyway, I ain't going there.
Yeah,
But
that part.
this part here, is something that you really have to embody. You have to embody the fact that whatever lie that you're telling yourself and what you think sales is, it ain't. It ain't. Sales is not sales. Not for us. We're not used car salesmen. We're not
Mhm.
selling mattresses, right? Everybody that comes in contact with us is not beholden to whether we're going to eat or not. It's just not. So therefore, the old way of thinking about a salesperson is not applied to a visionary woman like ourselves because all we want to do is what?
Freedom.
No, it's not about
Ah.
what do you want to what is this about? What is the finish the sentence? All for our with our services, all we want to do with our services is to what?
Sell.
No. For me, all I want to do is help people. All I
Okay.
want to do is to make sure that you are better when you leave me than when you found me. I want to serve you. It's not about sales. Most of the time when I do my call, I do so many calls every week. And all of them are not sales calls. They're all service calls. Whether they give me money or not, whether they
Mm-hmm.
give me money or not, I've left them better than I found them.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the service part of it. It's all about the service. So we're not your average salespeople. We're service people.
Mm-hmm.
We're where people bring all of it. We're where people bring their cars to get the tune up, to get the new spark plugs, to get the new tires, add some air, and they go out the other way better.
Well, I mean, it's like so today, I could potentially turn this person into a sale. It was she had posted on her Facebook about this book. And I was just like, oh, let me go and grab this book that I will half read because I have a billion ideas running in my head already.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically about how um, leaving the house messy and leaving things around. I was like, that's just been my life. And so I said to her, as very intelligent women,
Mm-hmm.
this is the way that we often function. And I said, and it's okay. I learn differently. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. And she's like, thank you so much for giving me permission to have grace with myself. And I was like, that's a perfect lead in to come back and say, well, I'm going to be offering this program in September.
But it's not.
It's not. Why? Why?
Because do you think that that lady wants a program? You just literally released 50 pounds off her shoulders. And do you think the next step is for her naturally like, I need a program? What's her next step? Think about it. Think about who you were when that weight of what you thought about how life was was lifted. What did you want next?
Freedom's always going to be my answer, Sean.
Right. But so how do you get it though?
You have to start getting rid of the chaos.
How?
You have to start digging and start with a drawer. Start with a drawer.
Yeah.
Start with a junk drawer. Clean that out.
So what is that? What is the natural next step? We've taken the weight off. We're going to start with the drawer. So what is that starting with the drawer? What is that?
That's removing some of the chaos and clutter in your mind that's sitting in the background.
True, but from a tangible perspective, what is it? It's not a trick question. Okay, so I can give you answers, but
you're clearing space, you're clearing clutter, you're clearing the chaos.
I get it, but I get it, but
it's lifting another weight. It's
what?
It's giving more freedom. It's giving more spaciousness.
So you're helping me. You've just now released this weight. We just met. You've released this weight. What's going to be your next conversation? You're going to tell me I need to get chaos the kingdom? Or what would you say? What would you say to me now that I've like, gosh, that just really, that just lifted a weight off my shoulders. Thank you for that. What would you naturally say to me next? Get rid of the chaos?
You're welcome.
Right? And then you probably give me a hug, and then what would be your next statement?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, then you really shouldn't be doing this, sis.
Okay.
I really need you to think about helping people. What would you say to me? The only reason I'm saying me is because I know you love me already. So what would you say to me next? Because you already love me. And I'm about to cry. And I said, thank you for that. And you'll say, you're welcome. And then what would you tell me to do next?
How can I help you further?
And you're going to go to North Carolina. I'm going to go to Atlanta. What would you give me as an assignment when I go home?
The exact assignment that I gave you to go and do when you went home.
Which was?
Start a box at a time.
Thank you. You would give me the natural light next step. It's exactly what you told me, right? And I have been doing that. Listen. I didn't even remember, but I didn't even know why. Look at this. Look. I brought a box to work so I could do a box at a time. Do you know, Tony, that I did not know? I'm telling you, you're doing it naturally. So I was literally in my bedroom, in my bathroom. I'm telling you this because I did not remember. But I was in my bathroom and I was like, I wonder where I got this idea to start taking these boxes and doing a little box at a time. It's brilliant. And so I went downstairs because today is the day that Mercedes comes and she cleans my house. And I left her a note on my boxes on my table downstairs to not throw them away. And I was like, this is a great idea. I wonder is this a Marie I don't know what's that Marie Kondo, I don't know, Kondo thing. I was literally saying, where did I get this idea? Because it has been so light. It's been such a light lift that I brought one to the office so I could do the same thing here. You gave me that assignment. I have been doing it and I didn't connect the dots to you, but it's working for me. It's working for me, sis. I literally have an Amazon box at my office because of what you told me to do, and it's working for me.
Yay!
It was such a light lift. right? But think of, I want, so see how we just walked that through, right? It wasn't, you didn't tell me, get rid of the chaos in your life. You gave me the natural next light step that I
Mhm.
can do, that I can do. And I'm doing it. And I didn't remember that you told me to do it.
That's funny.
That's so funny. It's so funny because I was literally in my bathroom, like, I gotta get all my boxes out the way so she won't throw them away. I gotta leave her notes and not throw the other ones away because it's really been transformational for me. It just makes sense. But I say all that to say, do you see what I was asking you now? Now that you told her, just give grace to yourself. And she said that lifted a weight
Mhm.
and she could breathe. Your natural inclination is not to go into sales mode. Well, you need to join my course in September, because that doesn't help her because she's now reframing her nervous system, right? You really have released something. You don't want to tense her back up with like, oh my gosh, now I got to figure out how to get out of this. No, it's give her a natural next step.
Mm.
Now, that is a great piece of content because it's directly connected to a real problem that your friend had, and now that you've helped this lady with, and you
Mm.
really is connected to how you would help walk people through, right? This
Mhm.
now you tell that level of a story. Please use me. I will do your testimonial. Once you launch, I'll do your testimonial because God is so funny. I literally just said that today. Like, dang. What's the lady name? That Kondo lady that everybody was talking about.
Yeah, it was Maria Kondo, Maria,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was,
whatever her name is,
I was
Marie
like, oh,
Kondo.
did I get that from her? Like, this is a brilliant. I literally had just said that, and it's working for me. So the natural next step is little things that you can say and pull out of your process and help women say, dang, that does make sense. I can do that. Now, that's a lead back into, well, I wonder what else she got in her coffer since that one little thing was so impactful in my life. So it's really not about you. It's not a hard sale. It's really about service. You know what I'm saying? So you get the connection there. But I think that's a better piece of content or a draw in than the PMP. I'm not saying you can't use it, but your
Well, I wasn't going to use specifically the PMP, but just the natural next logical
yeah, the
step
natural. Mhm.
isn't necessarily what our soul is craving.
But nobody, but think about what our soul is craving, because most people don't even understand that soul exists and what it is, because think about we're talking to the church people, and this think about it, right? Soul is a really that's like a second year college level concept, and we're dealing with people that are still in elementary school. The lighter lift is taking small steps to declutter your life.
Mm-hmm.
The lighter lift is, here's what I did to get rid of clutter from my life, from my relationships.
Mine was a little more radical.
Yeah, you started. Like if you even take your story as the baseline of how to move things forward, of how to have a clutter-free life, of how to get, or not even clutter-free, because that's somebody else's brand. I know her, Angela. So how to have a chaos-free life. Now, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos-free. How to get chaos-free. Chaos-free starts with the little steps. What can
Mm-hmm.
you do? Maybe because this is what I started doing too. My car used to be the junkiest thing on earth. I've started, first of all, I subscribe to the car lots where you can pay $20 a month and you can go and wash your car every time. When you wash your car, you naturally have before you leave, you have to get rid of the trash. Even if I don't vacuum the car, get rid of the trash every time. So see how you can just baby step her ready
Mm-hmm.
to, okay, so now when you're ready to really get rid of chaos, now I invite you to join me in my chaos to kingdom
Mm-hmm.
community, right? So it's reading the mind of you. Remember who you were and how you helped yourself. I watched you transform. What did you do? How did you handle your car? Even when you bought your car, like the considerations that you made, make you your ideal client.
Oh yeah, because there ain't shit in my car now.
Mine either.
There's
I
not.
actually got a I actually got a compliment yesterday. He said, I love your car. I was like, thank you, darling. But that's new for me.
Hmm.
My car used to be a hot mess, but it's new for me. We no longer, we don't live in that level of chaos. We just don't. So the best sales conversation is stories. Talk about tell the story of, beautiful friend came to stay with you. I don't even remember what I said. Spent the weekend with you. I don't know what I said, but you gave an assignment, and here's what happened, and here's why you gave that assignment, right?
You had to move. You had to move and you didn't know what you were going to do with all the stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You were like,
But
I
even
have
but
20 boxes in the garage.
yeah, 50. But even in that, it's like I oh, it's just so much I could say there. But you hear what I'm saying though, right? Because at the end of the day, even talking about the natural next step might not be the next step. It's a higher level concept,
Mhm.
right? What your soul's desire is a higher level concept. It's why we're in luminary and we were frustrated with the juicy women. You got to start with the juicy women. And
Mhm.
they might have to go through your program 3 years before they can come out and actually have an intelligent conversation about their life.
Well, clearly I'm struggling and I've been through this for 7 years.
Well, you're struggling because you're ready to start at the PhD level.
Mm,
Me too, right? I'm telling you, I told y'all through Limitless. I was like, Lord, I'm not doing that. That's basic. And here we are. I asked a simple question like, well, what did God create the sun for? Was it or trees for? Was it for him or us? And everybody gave me the wrong answer. And I was like, what the hell is happening? So we think too much. So your client is going to think too much because you were searching your brain for the right answer when you had already given it to me.
mhm.
Because you love me already. That's the energy of what we want to do for everybody. It's not the right answer. It's not the right answer. It's the next best light step because we're trying to get people out of chaos. The heavier their brain has to work to even understand, what you've articulated is like, oh, that might be a little bit too much for me. And we don't want that because it's not. This is
Mhm.
our life we're talking about. I was literally just telling Cindy because I put y'all appointments like right together just so I can have this for your day. And I was telling her, I mean, yeah, Debrina. So I had this conversation with Debrina that I just didn't agree. And it's okay.
Yeah.
But what I've realized is that my journey, especially my journey with me and God Himself, and Him teaching me, training me, and helping me understand Limitless and what His design is for my life and what I'm supposed to do, there are no walls. I cannot have any kind of um teaching that goes against what he's teaching me. It works for what she's doing for the people that for is supposed to serve in the relationship space, right? But she's not my person for relationships because there's no walls on where I am, right?
Right.
It's limitless. And so
Mhm.
her stuff has it has boundaries, it has corners, so there are structures and it's kind of tight. And so I was like, ooh, and it felt good. And you know why? It felt good because I'm actually sitting in the space of I'm the designer. I'm no
Mhm.
longer a student in that lane, right?
Right.
She's not my teacher for that lane because he has me somewhere else in that space that does not have, I can have the desires of my heart. And if I don't like something and it doesn't feel good, that doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Yeah. That's true. Cause we just had the program. I went ahead and I took what was it? Her courtship, modern courtship.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this is nothing that you have not already taught. Nothing new.
So what was
Absolutely nothing new. Nothing.
So was it helpful though?
It was nothing new. I'm like, I'm just gonna, yeah. I'm just gonna be over here and I'll read through the book, I'll do the exercises, but and I also know that I need to get out of the house because
Period.
Amazon does not have an app for a Build-A-Man.
And the men that drive Amazon, they already taken. So there's that.
That part. And yeah, and they're too young. So no, thank you.
So my whole point in saying that is to say that the concept of being able to hear and digest information and process it through my being and make a decision best for me, because the love, the respect, the gratitude doesn't change, but the alignment to what I'm hearing from my life
Mhm.
has to be first over anybody else's idea. And I'm respectful. It's, oh my gosh, thank you so much. But I'm going to decide to lean into what I want versus what your teachings say and what you're saying that I did wrong. I'm going to honor my feelings. I'm going to honor what I want. And it was okay. But old me would have been like, oh, well, I guess I'm wrong. And but this comes with literally hearing God and walking through my own program, my own process of helping his women and what he's telling me and seeing, even though I don't agree, me being obedient and seeing what he said.
So for your own program, did you walk through it before you launched it, or are you walking through it simultaneously with us?
Well, it's both.
Okay.
Let me say this so my designer can,
Fix it.
so
Doggone it.
he can do his part because I'm in there playing around. I'm gonna tell him that I'm out. So let me tell you how this has been going on with me, right? The concept of limitless, what God gave me is he wanted me to teach it. And I felt like I wasn't qualified because I was like, I don't know about this. But what he had been teaching me is that I've been living this way anyway. Everything, remember I told you, I had the science of growing rich, the science of getting rich before I met Delana. I've had that book for a long time. I've been on this journey since I was 21.
Yeah.
I've studied under Bob Proctor and Brian Tracy and Tony Robbins and all of the what's that white lady. All of these people have been a part of creative visualization, changed my life. But I did that in my 20s. This has been a lifelong journey of me understanding my subconscious mind and how I can visualize something and have it in my hand. The house I stay in, the degrees I have, like everything, the car that I drove. I went to a lot. I pointed to my Tahoe and I said, I want that. I'm gonna go to work and call me when it's ready to pick up. Like that's just how I've always moved. So when God told me to teach limitless, me questioning him like, like this is how you already live. I'm just telling you, I'm giving you a framework so you can tell other people what you're already doing.
Mm.
So it wasn't. And so when the biggest pushback was when he told me to teach y'all the law of attraction. I was like, I don't want to do that. It's so basic. I don't want to do that. I want to feel like I'm one of these people, regurgitating. I'm like, but it's not, because what he told me,
Blessed at God, you're funny.
oh, that's how we talk to each other.
I do too. I do too.
We have a very different kind of relationship. It's real ghetto over here. But he knows me and I trust him. And I trust that, I just trust it. But it was I was completely wild. That conversation we had when I was like, did God make the earth and the trees for him or us? And most people said for him. And it clicked for me. I was like, oh, okay. We cannot be over here in PhD level, right? Because people are saying, even down to this program, I have so much more. I had so much more in this sales process and the sales program to teach, to train, to explain, but we can't go So now, like I told you, now I understood why we couldn't move faster. We are not short on education, on learning. We have more knowledge in our head than we can do anything with. Yet, what's really the thing is the embodiment. What's really the thing is the practical. Now that you know all this stuff, how are you using it in your life? Now that you've been exposed to something new, how do you enact it? The number one thing that Debrina has always told me, she was like, Sean, she's like, of all the people I've coached, you're the probably the one that does the work the fastest. If she gives me some new information and I agree with it, I'm going to do it today. But remember how I was saying, how God kept saying that I've been living limitless my whole life?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I move. Like I had five mentors, but this is the thing, the way I grew up, it was life or death. I knew that the stuff that I was being taught at home and in my community,
Wasn't working.
it wasn't working for them. So when anybody mama told me that this how you supposed to live and this I'm like, okay, move, shift. We ain't doing that. We doing this immediately because I wanted a different life for myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
believed that I could have it. So anytime new information came to me and I agreed with it and it made sense to me, I immediately acted on it. I make really quick decisions because I'm gonna fail fast because I got other stuff to do. Let me learn that it's wrong so I can do something else. But that's how I move. But my expectation, Tara asked me that other day, she was like, how did you just quit your job? Or how did you prepare to be an entrepreneur? I never did. I do things rash. I quit my job with no plan. Don't say do that. But I've always had enough faith. I've always had enough faith to know that life is going to work out for me. That's a limitless mindset.
Yeah.
I win at everything I do. I always have. It's a limitless mindset. So this has been a lifestyle for me all my life. Even as a child, I remember when my mom used to tell me stuff, and it's just from her lived experience. She used to tell me stuff, and I would sit there and be like, "Yep, not gonna do that. Not gonna listen to that." Ah, la 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 la. I'm like, I already know. I'm not gonna do that. That's not good information.
That used to irritate my mom so bad.
I didn't say it. I would die.
Huh?
I didn't. I got a
No, no,
black.
no, no, no. I wouldn't. There's a lot of things I wouldn't say to my mom, but she always said she called me one way. She would always call me one way. And when I asked her about it, she's like, because when you set your mind to something and you dig your heels in, it is one way, and you're not going to be swayed.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
like it's the gospel.
I always I joke, but 99% of the time I'm right with everything. I just am. I'm a Scorpio. I'm right. But I am.
Good thing you have an Aquarius friend.
To balance that shit out. But it just, but
I
anyway,
can't deal with Scorpio men, but my girls, I got you.
but it's proven like 99% of the time I'm right. And my kids say that they say that it's really it was hard growing up with a mother who I'm the queen of I told you so. Like they was like it's so hard to grow up with a mom that knew everything and she was always right. Even though we thought she was wrong, she was right. I pretty much am. So, but that's just a level of confidence and the attitude that I have. But anyway, back to you. You're your best client. I want you to take a list. I want you to specifically have a notebook specifically for your chaos to kingdom. And I want you to evaluate you. What were just journal it out. Write 1 through 50 on the front of a page or write 1 through 50 on the back and just write down the things that you had to unwind for your own self. It should be a healthy list. You really should have 100 things, whether it's decluttering the car, not buying new makeup, changing how you rode around to get your coffee, like whatever the small little steps that you take, right? For me, I made a decision to live and play, choose a place to live where I can live, play, work, and it was safe for Jazzy to go to school because I didn't like traffic. Traffic stressed me the hell out. Therefore, I can't move into a space where traffic. So even down to small decisions about where we live and the kind of community we live in and the kind of beauty we want to be surrounded by and the access to um alternative routes. That's important to me. It's small. So I've aligned my life with small little decisions I've made to where it's non-negotiable. Why? Because I want less chaos.
Mhm.
So I want you to have a plethora of little things that you've done. That gives you a baseline for having conversations and content. I'm following this new lady. I don't know where she came from. I mean, man, when I tell you her content really speaks to me, I probably wouldn't work with her because I just I want to do no more courses. I'm in the last course. Okay.
Right.
Not doing no more courses, but her content really does speak to me because she tells you the thought process, right, of her client, or let's say she uses a celebrity. That's an idea. Find a celebrity that's living in chaos. Right now, she had posted about Cardi B. Cardi B is completely living in chaos. Money, most people think they live in chaos because of money and how finances hold them bound because they can't make certain decisions. This lady is a millionaire, and her life is a complete chaotic mess. She's literally married to a man who continuously cheats on her, who, I mean, he's just completely a whole tool. And she just keeps making bad decisions around this one thing. But why? Right? That's a case study. Like really talk about how her decisions aren't lining up with her
She truly doesn't love herself.
can't.
That's what it boils down to. You're addicted to the chaos. You're addicted to the attention.
Really? You think that's what it is?
Oh, okay. So when I was with Rob, even just the little tiniest, she's in a toxic, narcissistic, abusive relationship, is what she's in.
Mm-hmm.
And the tiniest crumb of attention from him because of her own childhood traumas is what she is her air. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that because I lived it.
So that's on your list. So you can do a real like outside looking in study and talk about it. She's literally, I'm not a fan, so I don't know her music, but this lady that I follow posted her music, like it was the song, and it was saying, be careful how you treat me, or be careful how you handle me. I'm not the kind of woman that you should be treating this way. Like it was her music. And it's like, this is the way you survive, this is the way you take care of your kids, but this is the kind of toxicity that you're putting out into the world. You could do that with so many. Mary J. Blige, all her songs earlier were nothing about pain. So you see how you can connect, you can use people who we all know, love, and enjoy, and connect it to how you're living in chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And the little things, right? If I could talk to, um, if I was her friend, here's what I would tell her. Friend to friend, like come up with something that's creative that you can always end with. If I was her friend, this is what I would tell her.
Mm.
That would be impactful because we all know and love these people, and it's like, oh, and my thing is, I don't know this young lady. I don't follow her. I'm like, what's happening? That this is your the song that you put out. You're like, you have so much ability to impact the world, and this is what women are looking at and seeing you. Like, it just seems to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
People want her life, but do you really? And people want her life, but is this normal? Like, I think that's why I stopped being a Mary J fan, because when she was talking about 411 and all that pain, I was going through that pain, but then I didn't want to hear that pain. So I don't
Yeah.
listen to her. I stopped listening to her music, even though what she was going through was what I was going through, but that ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So think about that. Make your list. You should have a list of 100 little things, right? And then you can come over with another list of all the artists that we know, love, and the chaos. Whitney Houston, Tina Turner, all of that. gives you some chaos content.
Well, and it also is the flip side of that. I'm gonna attack your beloved DMX.
Oh, I know. He was a hot mess.
The toxicity that came, I listen to his songs now and I'm like, I almost am to the point, because that's in my gym mix. You know, this is like my gym mix music. And I turned on my gym mix music this morning and I was just like, no, this is not what I want to be feeding, because it's going to feed that old Tony that attracted those kind of men. And that's not what I want.
I
And
don't listen. I don't listen to his music, but I can't. Right. I am a fan. So if I go to a party and they put it on, I can bop to it. But it's different than putting it in my earphones. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't do that. I have different I have my feminine energy playlist. I listen to it almost every day. Jill Scott, Erica Badu. So my playlist has even you can even talk about that. Our playlist of old shouldn't be our playlist of now.
yeah.
Because we're different. We should evolve and be different people. I don't listen. I can't tell you the last time I listened to. I can listen in spurts to, ratchet music, but it's not like it used to be. Not used to be. I can bop to a song, but then half of the time I'm gonna turn it off halfway through because it's disturbing my soul. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's the way I was feeling. I was like, I need something for the gym, because I can't listen to slow music.
I listen to so if I need some turn on, I listen to Sierra, I listen to Missy Elliott, I listen to Afro beats. Yeah, so I find old school Usher, I listen to Chris Brown. Like it's different. Life is different now. But when I get my moments where I want to turn up, I can listen to me some Waka Flocka, but I can listen to some Jeezy, some Gucci, but it's not. I love me some Waka Flocka, but I like the beat, but it's not, I can't listen to because the words are treacherous. The words are horrible.
It's like barbed wire.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. So yeah, but most times I'm listening to old school stuff, like really, really old school. Jazzy, she's listening to my playlist, and I was telling her, but she took some songs, but it's old stuff. It's definitely not, it's fun, Justin Timberlake. So but even in that, right? Even in reliving and rehashing old pain, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Forgiveness, release, self-care, self-love, all of that. That's where we live. That's where we live. You
Yeah,
know?
it's interesting. This one guy that I follow on TikTok, he does some relationship stuff, but he's in the midst of dating too. And I'm like, I don't know if you should really be doing relationship stuff,
Everybody
because
trying.
I counteract him at every turn. I'm like, yeah, that's not my life. That's that
Listen, no.
it's I said, if it disrupts my peace or my joy, I'll I'll stay where I'm at. It's non-negotiable. I
Um,
love my company. I
but
love my
even, but even that, like, there are so many women that don't spend time with themselves. My daughter used to, Shasha used to be that way. She was like, I can't be alone. I can't be alone. I can't sit in this house. I was like, why are you always in Target or in the Home Depot? She was like, I can't be alone. She's got her own thoughts.
yeah.
That's a whole conversation. I've never been her. I've never been scared of my own thoughts. I have been upset at myself,
Mhm.
right? And that doesn't feel good. But I'm gonna sit with some stuff. But that's one of the things that women do when they are not ready to listen to their own is the whole thing. I gotta have something on. Radio gotta be on, TV gotta be on, podcast gotta be on, gotta have something in our ears. That's a whole, that's a concept. I know so many women that are like that. They cannot have silence. Silence is a privilege and it's necessary. But the woman that cannot sit in silence,
I don't even know how my child is going to have a child.
she likes her time.
She is, well, over the last couple of years, she and I have talked about how we believe that she's neurodivergent. and like high functioning autistic.
Mhm.
She can't stand the sound of hearing somebody chew.
Mm. She would hate me.
I'm like, yeah, I chew with my mouth closed. And she's like, can you chew quieter? And because I guess I just have a loud chew even through my cheeks. And she's like, I have to get off the phone. You're chewing. And I'm like, I don't even know how you're gonna have a child because a
Well,
child
she's going to create a space where her husband and he's got to step up.
that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, but she got to
With
start
that
having that
African
conversation.
raised man.
All of that stuff got to be taken into consideration. He know who he dealing with. So you have some
Yeah,
sidebar.
yeah, he does.
I had to my son-in-law just left up and up here because he had to put my little mic together for me and take some water to my house. But I had to have conversations with him to tell him who my daughter was, right? I love you. I'm rooting for you. But let me tell you who you're dealing with. Let me tell you who she is. And here's how to handle this quirkiness that she has. And then I have to tell her how to calm her ass down, right? Because she's mean. So I'm like, you got to come. So I took on the role of helping them navigate
Yeah,
this. I don't even think they would make it if both of them hadn't been able to listen, even down to taking my advice to go on a world tour right after marriage, right? Don't stay in Atlanta and party. Go away so that all these people can get out your relationship. Because it was getting really messed up because they were living like they had been living as a married couple. I mean, as a single couple, as a married couple, and they were having problems in the club and they were having problems with women not taking on the boundaries. And I said, get the hell out, go away and get Atlanta out your system and come back and you'll be better. And it was the best thing. She was like, this was the best decision we ever made. Amen. You're welcome.
yep. Yeah,
You're
they call me occasionally for like business advice and moving advice because they're looking at moving like 3 hours south of where they are now.
welcome.
I don't think right now is the time and the climate to be doing that, but they've already pretty much made the decision. Go be great. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, the ease of just having a level of relationship where you can just have conversation. That's where the little nuggets come in. Like I can text him and I can call him. Like I didn't tell her I was asking him to come up here and do anything for me because I don't have to go through her to get to him. And I had to tell him that. I said she doesn't need to know every little thing. I'm not gonna ask you to do anything weird.
Yeah.
But you still have to have a level of your life, and you have to have a level of where you can make your own decisions because she don't run shit. So now, I mean, it's taken a couple of years, but now he gets it. But he did say he was like, I asked Shay if she knew what she needed me to do, and she was like, oh no, I didn't know she needed you to do anything. So I said she don't need to know everything because this was an easy ask. But anyway, so just I would encourage you to foster separate communication channels with both of them, just so you are that level-headed advisor without them thinking you're advising.
Well, they call me and ask me, what do you think about blah blah blah?
Together or separately?
Together,
Yeah.
they'll
I'm
call,
saying do it. Try to foster it so it can be separate too, because it's different.
yeah, yeah,
Just
and
those little snippets.
yeah,
I used
and
to tell him, especially when they were traveling, I would send him messages and I was just like, I would say, I said, hey Mike, I am so thankful that you're in our family. I am so thankful that my daughter met you. You are amazing to her. I love the way you love her. And I know that did something for him, right? I would just say, I didn't want to think, just wanted to tell you how much I love the fact that you love my baby so well. Thank you for loving her. Little thing.
I did that, and it freaked him out. He's like, "Why is your mom sending me this?"
Oh, he did the same thing.
I was like,
He did the same thing.
because I love the way that you. I think it's weird that they sleep in different rooms, but hey,
Hey,
that's
whatever works for them. If it works for them, it's fine. Maybe she want her space too. I would, the hell, there ain't nothing wrong with that sometimes.
well, she likes to sleep under 80 blankets, and he has problems with heat.
Yeah,
So
that's a perfect compromise. We'll come together for a little while and then I'm gonna go to my room. How about that?
sounds like Sharon. Except sure, unless there's
I do know some women that like that, mom. I do know so because we have different body temperatures and respect, it's like that. So I respect that. I respect the fact that they're able to make adult decisions and it not cause conflict. Whatever keeps the conflict down, we can always make another decision later. But I own what you want. I think that you too. We grew up in eras where there were so many rules. Here's the norm. Here's how it's supposed to be done. Like, let's make new rules. Let's not just throw rules away and just let's make what we want.
Can we do that with the political climate too? I would like to do that.
We just need
Talking to the DJ this weekend, he's like, I'm one election away from moving to another country.
Yeah, definitely won't be doing that, but definitely it's really different. I think that we live in the greatest country ever, but I think that it's a blessing to be able to have the option to do so.
Yeah.
Because other people don't. It's really unfortunate. I learned that I don't know much about the Middle East, but to learn that if you are a Palestine, you don't have a passport because you don't have a region. And you can't just leave. That's what they say. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's like you don't have a passport because you don't have a region. And then that happens in parts of Pakistan too. There are parts of Pakistan that are not even recognized because it's like
They're Southern nomads.
true. They have, but they're not on paper anybody. They're nobodies on paper. And so they can never leave because you can't get on a plane if you don't have documentation and there's no recognition that your community exists. That's crazy. So I'm thankful that I'm thankful that we have the ability to be able to choose.
Yeah.
For what it's worth. Now they're trying to change that, but we just have to wake up. I don't like any of our decisions, but you just have to choose the lesser of the two evils. That's all we have. But at least we have the ability to choose for now, because that could change. John Lewis used to say all the time, like, none of this is guaranteed. The fight is always a fight because it could change. One resolution could change in any of our rights. And then we're on the verge of another civil war. I'm not here for any of it. I'm just going to believe God.
Nope, Lord, take me home.
Yeah, I'm just gonna believe God because it's crazy out here in these streets.
Well, the last 2 days are the best I have felt in months.
Really? What was it? Your hormones you were dealing with?
Well, hormones, and I started taking the tirzepatide shot.
What is that?
It's the weight loss shot
Like
that
Ozempic?
it's the other one. So tirzepatide has 2 peptides in it that help with digestion and with some of the brain function, but I did research on it and it can reset your metabolism.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I've been on it for 2 weeks now and I've dropped 4.2 pounds. And so since June, I've dropped 10 pounds.
And you've been on it since June?
Nope.
No.
The
2
last
weeks.
weeks.
Oh, okay. Okay, good for you.
So I'm just going to use it for a little bit of a handicap crutch.
Yeah, a little jump start. I'm with you. Yeah, I said I'm just gonna do my herbs because my thing is it's emotional. It's all emotional, right? I'll have a moment like I had some clients last week that were mean to me for no reason. Like I know.
Sure.
Like
You want to stop the recording?
oh,
We chatting now.
I know. But did you